Hey, Miss B again with Mrs. B's Juice Bar, coming from Richmond, Virginia. I want to talk to you all today about owning my first brick and mortar, which opened in 2020. Not only did I like living a healthy lifestyle, eating healthy and exercise, which led me to this passion, but I'm a business-minded person as well. So knowing that I made almost six figures in a 2 year time frame from actually selling juice out my house in the trunk of my car really was a big door opener for me and a great business idea. And that's what started me to put together a business plan and knowing this is something that I knew could be successful. And I would succeed in it as a entrepreneur because I come from a long line of entrepreneurs and also because this was a passion of mine. Being a business owner and having a brick and mortar you have to do a lot of homework. You have to make sure that so many things are in place so your business makes it so it's successful. One of the key things that you need to remember when opening a business and creating a business plan is one thing is location. You want to make sure that your business is located in an area where what you're giving or what you're producing is something that's needed. I chose to put my business in a food desert. There was nowhere where I moved my business that had healthy food for people to eat or items that would be healthy for them to eat. So I chose a place where it was food desert. At the time, the income median was kind of low. You also would like to choose a location where your business can grow. I chose a location that I knew my business could grow, which was that area that was coming from out of poverty, from coming up to increasing homes, the increased value of people moving into the neighborhood, which brought the neighborhood up. So I chose somewhere that my business could grow for the long haul. That's like one of the most important pieces is location. You want to make sure that, hey, I'm going to put a juice bar here. Well, you got to ask yourself these questions because if you're going to be looking for money from a bank or another resource or even a business partner, they're going to want to know, okay, you believe in you, what make me believe in you? So when you're making somebody else believe in what you can see, you have to give them the vision and you have to give them a strategic business plan. And you might even need to write out what your numbers may look like for that year that you will be acquiring for the business. And for me, I didn't have a lot of people that believe in me. You know, not even my landlord where I got the location. His thing was like, you gonna put a juice bar right here? He asked like 100 people, do they think a juice bar will work right here? Well, he didn't need to ask 100 people did a juice bar work right there because I myself know a juice bar will work right there. I strategically did my homework. I have a business coach that helped me create a business plan. I did my numbers. I visited other juice bars in different cities. And even though there were juice bars that were located maybe in a 3 or 4 mile radius of me at that time, it wasn't really in the same area, but it was enough to say, hey, if somebody comes to me and say, well, you know it's a juice bar like 3 blocks away, what you do is, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So I strategically created my juice bar to have items that nobody has. Here I am 5 years later, and I can name at least 20 items on my menu that nobody else has. I incorporated healthy food. I incorporated a book of all the add-ons that I have that will help you along your way. I created foods from South America, items that you actually can't find here in Richmond. So those are key things that you need to say, hey, what makes me different? So 5 years later, I'm still the most well-known juice bar here in the city of Richmond. And I'm very proud of myself. And I've started to take things a little bit further. One of my goals is if you're doing something or working with something, you have to be accustomed to change. So after being open after 5 years, a 5 year stretch, I've had to come several obstacles with the juice bar industry. Again, I tell you all, I opened in 2009. And the pandemic happened. I opened in January 2020, and the pandemic hit in March. So you got to think, I'm a brand new business, a brand new brick and mortar that just opened. You know what I did? I created ways to keep that bar open and keep people healthy while they had COVID, while they had the flu. I never closed. I set up shop outside of my building. I sold ginger teas, sour sop teas, wellness shots, sea moss. I did everything for the community that they needed because I'm a big advocate for the community and eat healthy. So I was so lucky not to close during the pandemic after I opened. I actually gained my second brick and mortar only 9 months after I opened my first brick and mortar. Somebody else doing, but you can be doing those one or two things that will make you stand out and say, hey, I can afford to have a business 2 or 3 blocks from another business, because even though we still produce juice, I know I'm producing something 10 times greater than what y'all have. When you a whole list of different things, you know, don't get me wrong, there have been trials and tribulations in my first 5 years of owning a juice bar. I've been through a couple of different rocky hills. What I can say is January 20th, 2020, I was not ready. I thought I was ready, but Lord, I was not ready. It was an amazing day. I think the anticipation of me as a Black entrepreneur in the city, opened up the first juice bar, had people head over heels from the following of me actually juicing out the trunk of my car, from me posting on Facebook. Our opening day, I think I had maybe 7 people working for me. Probably needed about 15, but we made it work. My mom got back there behind the register. I had a couple of girlfriends that also helped me. I had people cutting up fruit everywhere. It was an amazing day. I had a line around the corner when I opened on my first day. It was amazing. It was still a couple of things that I had to tweak. What I would say is, being a business owner of a juice bar or any restaurant, you need a dry run. My dry run was actually on the day I opened, when I should have. I actually did like a little dry run before then, but I can say everybody was really patient with me. Everybody really was pleased with the food, with the juices, and with the smoothies. So I can say it was very pleasing. Staffing was not an issue for me after I got a juice bar, but it was something that I was not used to. I was not used to, being in charge of people. I was only used to being in charge of myself. So that took like a little bit out of me. You have to deal with different attitudes. You have to deal with different people. So that was a challenge. One of my challenges in opening up. And just being there on time and opening on time and closing checklists and closing. My first 3 months, it seemed like I was only sleeping like 4 hours a night. I do have children. I have 3 children of my own. So at the time, I had a 3-year-old. So that was one in college, one in middle school. So just the back and forth and getting adjusted to running a business and also dealing with home life and 3 different personalities at home too. So I can say that was a lot. However, they were great support systems. My oldest son and my middle son supported me greatly and also worked for me while I had the juice bar. I think one of the things that made me very proud, I was recognized in the Richmond Times Dispatch. I was recognized in RVA Mag. I was recognized in South Weekly and 12 on Your Side, Richmond Mag, all sorts of magazines, even the New York Times, which is something big. I think that's the 5th biggest newspaper in the world. So I just was recognized in a lot of different places. So what I did is I took a lot of my recognition from different modules, and I actually put time and work back into the community. I put together a pilot program for the Boys and Girls Club, where I actually had three girls and a little boy work with me during the summer, and they created their own juice bar. That was their thing. So just giving back to the community. I've done stuff with Richmond community. I've done stuff with the city on several occasions with the NBL providing box lunches. So I also try to give back as much as I can to different charities as well, because a lot of the hard work and effort that I've had to put in, I've also had assistance from different entities like the Metropolitan Business League. They've been great. They've been amazing. Thank you, Floyd. So I just have a lot of people that support me, and I have a great support system, and I've been able to carry this journey for 5 years. Yes, let's back it up a little bit to how I was raised and how I grew up. Entrepreneurship is something I can say I was blessed with because I came up around it and all the way in it. At the age of 8, I remember it like it was yesterday. My mom used to work for CNP, well, Verizon now, AT&T. She used to work for CNP. And me and my dad used to go get her from work every day at like 5 o'clock. Right down Main Street, 5 o'clock every day. To come downstairs. She had worked there for over like 17 years. My mom's from a small town called Big Stone Gap, Virginia. So when she moved to Richmond, she started working at CNP. So she had been there for between 17 and 20 years, I'm not sure. But I can remember seeing things when I was little and seeing when the changes were happening. She was actually a model for CNP, for the telephone company. She worked there for years, but she just couldn't get right. She couldn't get to work on time, and she didn't want no people talking shit to her. I remember it like it was yesterday. So I remember when I was 8 years old, she came home, and I remember her having a conversation with my daddy, telling my daddy she quit. And I'm gonna tell y'all why she quit. Because she knew she wasn't supposed to be there. She knew it was something bigger. I watched my mom sell real estate from the basement of our house in the 80s. We lived in Churchill. And I remember her going to like different classes and us showing houses on the weekend, old school, passing out flyers, door to door, trying to get people to buy houses. This was like in the early 80s. And I guess she had a couple of sales then. And one day she came home and she just said that she was quitting her job. I watched my mama go into overdrive overnight. My dad was an entrepreneur as well, but he just couldn't get it right like my mom. I watched my mom work from sun up to sundown in our basement with 3 big ass computers, big monitor, the old screens. While she was doing that, she was pulling credit and everything. She was a one-stop shop. My mom sold, I believe, 20 homes in 6 months. And I would just watch her do open houses. I would watch her be in the paper every week. I'm talking about this old school was in the 80s. We didn't have the TV where the real estate agent was actually on the TV. My mom was looking up homes in the paper, and we was going to show houses every day to different people. And I watched her grow that business. I watched her grow that basement business into a full-grown company with over 15 associate realtors under her. She started off with several subdivisions. Mitchell Tree was one of her subdivisions. She had another subdivision in Sanson. She had several subdivisions in the Richmond area coming up. But what that is to say is I seen her grow from working in our basement as a real estate agent to being a associate broker to being a broker and having her own office with 2 desks in two different offices to having her own building on Broad Street. First black woman on Broad Street to have a building. My mom bought her building on Broad Street. She renovated on her building on Broad Street. She lived upstairs above her building on Broad Street. It was called Regal Realty. And when I say that's a bad bitch, my mama was the shit. And she still is to this day. And what I can say from that is all of that hard work and effort that she has put in has made me the woman I am today. One thing about it, I followed her footsteps. I got my real estate license too because real estate is my first love because I saw her do it so much. But unlike most people or most kids working for their mother, she made me work for everything. So my homeboy that went to school with me was getting 100. He was getting 100% commission at his dad's real estate firm. My mama had me on a 70/30. And that made me work harder for what I have now. So I've always had to work hard. I've always had to put in the work to get to where I am. And I just want to say, Mama, I love you so much. And I just think that just following her footsteps in a different aspect was still being business minded. I know that I'm able to create anything. I know that I have it in me to be that entrepreneur. I know I'm going to continue to grow, and I know I'm going to continue to pivot when that comes when it comes into play. About support, people being along the way of your journey and being an entrepreneur, being a business owner. You're going to need that support. You're going to need that support, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically, or emotionally. You're going to need that support while you're going through this transformation of, I would like to say, birthing your baby, because you carry that idea until you can push it out into the world. So it's almost like carrying a baby. So with that, I had a great support system, and it's nothing like having a support system where people really believe in you, believe in your ideas, and they're ready to put the work in with you and listen to you and be by your side every step of the way. No, don't get me wrong. Everybody don't deserve to know what you got going on. So that circle to me is really small of people that have worked with me along the way. Um, my mom, Lee, she is my angel here on earth. She's a great support system. We don't always see eye to eye, but I can tell and I know that she wants the best for me. And she's been an entrepreneur and a real estate broker now for over 40 years. And she's had several other businesses along the way. So right there, I have a lot of the support that I need, mentally and emotionally, with her, and just going along the way of being a business owner and the things that you need to look out for and the things that you need to think about. So again, I love you, Mom, and I appreciate you so much. She has been with me since day one. You know, any idea, anything that I bring to the table is never a situation. She be like, well, she be like, do it. You know what I mean? Do it. You know what I mean? So just her pushing me even when I don't feel like I can do it, it means a lot to me. Then I have several friends and family that back me. So I think having a support system of people that genuinely love you and that are going to support you from before you open to when you open and to your next journey is very important. And my circle is very small, but I appreciate the people that I have in my circle that have been with me along the way through these journeys. Things that or people that I have in place to support me. Alice Freeman, she's my godmother. She's great. She's a natural healer. She helps me out. She speaks to my heart and my soul and my mind. She embodies me with different ideas and a wholesome feeling where I know that I can continue to go and move forward with anything that I put my hands on. Just people. It's people that have been in my life that have helped me get to where I am, and there's people that have been in my life that helped me get to where I am because they say I couldn't do it, or I wouldn't do it, or I ain't gonna do it. I appreciate y'all too. I done cried. If I could count on my hand how many times I done cried, it wouldn't make no sense. You know, I tried getting a permit. Anybody live in Richmond, Virginia? Y'all know the city. I ain't gonna say that. Y'all know they take a while. So, getting the permits, jumping through the hurdles of having your friends or your homeboy say they're gonna do some work for you and they're nowhere to be found. So different aspects of getting the business together. So you're not just gonna have a turnkey brick and mortar and that's your money like that. But if you putting in hard work and you getting something from scratch, or it's something that you have to actually have a vision for, put together, paint, get a permit, do the floors, make sure the windows, pass the inspection, have a hood. All of those things take time. 5 years later, I'm still learning, but it's a journey. It's things that I'm learning along my way that I can use for the next 5 steps in my life or the next adventure that I decide to do. But it's hard work, It's not going to be peachy all the time. Everything is not going to happen at the exact time you want it to happen. But I promise you, if you be patient, it will happen in God's time. And when it happens in God's time, that's the real time. And it makes a difference. It makes a difference when it happens in God's time. I think that being a business owner consists of a few things that you must have owning a business. You definitely have to be consistent. That's one of the things. You definitely have to be consistent. You have to be patient as well. You have to be patient with the process. And you have to have faith. You have to have faith. Faith is believing in something that's not there yet, but you know it's going to get there. So a lot of the things that I move on or I base things off of, it's faith. That's inside of me. So those are some of the key things that you need to be a business owner. You definitely have to be disciplined. You have to have faith. You have to be open-minded about things. You have to be willing to learn and listen. I'm not a listener, but I'm getting there. So those are some of the key things that you definitely need to be a very, very, very phenomenal businesswoman or man in the world today. You have to be disciplined. Um you have to be disciplined is one of the key things that I can say that you definitely have to have. Because you're not going to be able to do everything you want, everything that is going to come as fast as you want it to come. So that's where the patience comes in at. And the faith comes in where you're being patient, you're being obedient, and you're listening, but it still hasn't happened yet. That's when your faith comes into play because everything is not on your time. It's definitely on God's time. But if you stay on course, He will make sure that you reach your final destination where you want to be. When I first started off with Miss V's, I believe I had maybe 4 smoothies. Or I had just avocado toast or just this sandwich or I just had salads. And as the business grew, I kept adding things. Nobody wants to eat the same thing over and over again. So you gotta learn how to pivot. You gotta learn how to add things and see what your customers like. See what they want. See what you're lacking versus what somebody else has. So I just went crazy with the menu. I went from just having 3 smoothies or 4 smoothies to having 8 smoothies. I took the price up and added some specialty smoothies you wouldn't get anywhere else. I went from 3 salads to 6 salads to a side salad. I went from having just avocado toast to almond butter toast to having barbecue jackfruit. Vegan grilled cheese, vegan chili, vegan chili will kill them. Everybody come to Miss B's love that vegan chili. So just being able to pivot and being able to eat and create things that your customers would like. Keep them excited, keep them coming back to something new. Do a special, see how this works, how that works. I have a BLT, which everybody loves. It's vegan bacon with avocado, house made aioli, lettuce, and tomato. You can eat that all day long. So just different things. Things that make your immune system low, you shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? Drinking makes your immune system low. Because when you drink a lot, you don't sleep. You think you sleep, but the alcohol got some more sugar in it. You're in a part of your sleep, but you're not asleep. So when you don't get sleep, then your body you're more susceptible to getting sick because your immune system is really low. I would say too, there have been times where I've not been in the best place. I may had it well, or I might be at work and I needed my customers as much as they needed me on occasions. Because I'm human, I go through different things in life. I have a whole family life I have to balance at home, a son in college, just a lot of other things. Me just having the pressure of running a business and selling real estate and whatever else I got my hands on. So it's been times where I've needed my customers and they've been there for me and they never even knew. Um, Life took a turn for me my third year at having my juice bar. My first grandson passed from my oldest son. So that was a really, 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 really dark time for me. And a lot of people didn't know about it. And some people did know about it. And what I can take from that is, you have kids and they fall, you give them a Band-Aid. They cry, you give them tissue. They get in trouble, you get them a lawyer. They get locked up, you bail them out. When I lost my grandson, it was nothing I could do for my son. So that was like one of the most helpless times in my life. And I had to go to work every day just to stay abreast, just to keep them in prayers, just to say I wanted to keep going and I needed to keep going. So things have not always been peachy. I've been through rough times owning a bar, as well as good times. After my grandson died, I say maybe 4 months later, I had COVID and I had double pneumonia. Everybody wanted to know why the Juice Queen had COVID. I'm human too. So with my COVID, I actually had double pneumonia. I was sick from August 14th to September 27th. So I was really sick. I was in and out the hospital. I wasn't breathing on my own. So that was something that I had to overcome too. Yes, I was eating properly. Yes, I was exercising. Yes, I was taking the CMOS, but I was sick. But being a business owner, I had a plan in place. I was able to still run my business while I was sick and out of work for almost a month. So it's just all these different aspects of the business. You need to create a backup plan. This spot needs to be like, Brandy, I just come here in the morning to see you because your energy is so good. I can shout off your energy. I always had something good for somebody. I always had a bone for everybody, everyone, no matter what they was going through, because I'm an energy person. And not only do I like to heal, as far as the juicing and make your body, but I like to mentally heal. Everybody's not having a good day. Everybody's not doing as great as you think they do. So the fact that people came to my juice spot for a peace of mind and they was feeding their body. So it was an all-in-one. You come in here for a peace of mind. You come in here to eat healthy. And you come in here to get some conversation from Miss B. And if I'm not there, when I get there, my employees let me know. So-and-so came in today to say they had to see you for 1 minute. So I think that played a major part of the business aspect of things. So when you really have a niche for something and it's something that you like and you're passionate about it, it's easy. It's just easy. It's easy to do. It's easy to talk. So a lot of stuff that I do it effortlessly because I enjoy doing it so much. So A lot of times, no matter what I'm going through, whether it's good, whether it's bad, and whether I'm feeling discouraged at the moment, I just ask the Lord to give me this much. And he continuously gives me this much. And then this much of whatever it is he gives me for that day is enough to take me to the next day. So a lot of times I'll be like, Lord, give me this much. Let me know I'm moving in the right direction. Allow me to know that what I'm doing is the right thing or the right conversation that I'm having with an individual. So I think me having a conversation or having a great relationship with God makes everything a lot better too. So along the way, when y'all see a lot of my murals, you'll be able to see that every mural has a scripture by it, because that's where I was at that time, and that's that little bit that I needed from the Lord to get to the next level.